All right. A warm welcome to everyone and to all our wonderful young water champions. For the past 3 weeks, we have been interacting. I know we have received these different kinds of assignments that you were given, and you shared with us about stories, about news that you have come across around water. Thank you so much for sharing. And after the last workshop, we come with this new workshop today, which is around understanding youth networks and the power of youth in bringing about a change, whether it's bringing about a solidarity for social action or acting by itself. So thank you so much. So we have an interesting array of guests today from different organizations. So maybe what I can do is begin with giving an overview of what this program is about and what we have been doing for the past 1 month. All right, let me share my screen. Can you all share my screen, see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, Manisha. Yeah.
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay, so the youth engagement in water was, this all started off some 3 months ago. That was a time when India was struggling with the second wave of COVID, and it came with some of us coming together and thinking of how we can build youth action towards issues around water in the region of Assam. And through that, a lot of brainstorming, deliberation, that back and forth that went. Finally, Aranya, in collaboration with the Water Partnership and Global Shapers Guwahati Hub, we came together as a consortium to develop this program, which focuses on capacity building of youth around water management, water governance, and also building some action driven by youth. So this was the program, and this is the genesis of it, the understanding that many and varied problems that poses challenges around quantity of water, quality of water, management of the water bodies, disasters around water persist. But we know that these challenges exist. Now, what do we do about it? So there are opportunities, especially opportunities for youth of the region to kind of step up and do something around it. With this recognition, we also understood that there are these scope where they can be involved, such as aspects like drinking water, livelihood, animal husbandry, agriculture, skill enhancement, disaster management, climate change adoption. With this understanding, we went on to develop this series of workshops with youth from the region. We called out for applications. We were happy to receive applications of over 80 youths from different parts of Assam, including rural, urban, tribal, non-tribal, so different parts of Assam applied for it. And this was convened by the consortium that acted as the steering group, and which included these 3 primary organizations. What was the program about, and what is the program about, since we are still in the middle of it? So the idea is that we sensitize the youth about issues around water in a broader context of environment, livelihood, biodiversity, health, and sustainable development. We want to build the capacity of youth. By capacity, it's not just knowledge, it's also their skill, it's also their own willingness to kind of act, and engage the youth in exploring local issues and taking those issues into concern, building action around it, and also come up with a long-term plan for youth engagement in addressing water challenges for the future. At the same time, we also want to identify and build potential young water champions from this program. Now, what are the expected outcomes? Again, awareness and knowledge, capacity of youth, and we have hope that all the young men and women who are part of this program, they contribute to a representation of water problems, whether in a big way, part of an organization or a group, whether at an individual level, and that youth voices see a space within the idea of water governance in this region. So the way we kind of structured our workshops was in a fun, interactive way. We started off with meeting each other. We would have these combination of networking sessions, breakout rooms where we would learn more about each other's personal journey so far. Then we would also give them some assignments. So to your right, you can see our participants sharing their beautiful stories about any particular water body they are very attached to. So there is one story about Brahmaputra River. There is another story where this person shared the entire story and history of his or her local pond in their village. So with this journey, we began off, and then we had these technical sessions, the workshops, which have been convened by us. The first workshop that gave an overview of what water is about, what are we focusing on, and the second workshop also focused on the socio-ecological aspects of water. Through these workshops, we did not just limit ourselves to just one-on-one lectures, but post the session, we would again break out into rooms and into smaller groups to understand and absorb what we have imbibed. I would actually like to invite Parthoda to share more about these workshops and what kind of emerged from those. Parthoda, if you may.
Okay, Manisha, you have actually, covered everything. That I just want to say that, if you go through the concept note that we have shared with everybody, I think both Vina and Dilip have gone through it. You will see this is a very comprehensive approach. So we wanted to, because see, in a sense, water is everybody's subject, and all of us think that we know one or the other thing about water. So same happens with all the young people that we have selected. But nobody can deny that there is a need to give proper orientation of thoughts and perceptions of information and knowledge at a very young age, so that at a later time they can think more logically and more scientifically about these issues. Of course, here I must say that water is the central thing, but in the pretext of water, we have actually interlinked water to all important aspects of environment, development, living, livelihoods. So this is in a way a very interdisciplinary integrated approach. Throw water is an attempt, keeping water in focus to understand the entirety or the integrity or the holistic, worldview of the biosphere, of environment, of the linkage between nature and human societies. So, but that will, culminate in a later stage. So we wanted to start with very basics, even starting with, what do you mean by water, things like that. And in the very first webinar, most of the major issues, major concerns about water was introduced to them. In the second one, there were two technical aspects. One is on the ecology of water as a whole, and that was deliberated upon by a reputed scientist, Dr. Sanchita Barua from Dibrugarh. And the other was on social and integration of social and ecological aspects of water. That was by Abhinandan Saikia of TISS Guwahati. And the third is about, as already stated, it's all about, the importance of role of youth, the importance of why the youth of the world, youth of the region, youth of the country, youth of the Northeast region should come together to understand water in a more holistic way, so that they become water sapiens of the future. Because the sole reason is that we can see more and more water-related problems coming up. And then who will address these problems? If we do not create a corps of educated, and sensitized and trained people who can look at it from a very balanced point of view, social, cultural, technical, scientific, right, technological. So that is the main purpose, and this is the time. We are at the middle of this program. So I wanted them to hear from our global and regional, officials and promoters about what is the larger plan, what is the kind of larger plan they have for them. Because from our point of view, if I remember correctly, when I was also in that meeting, and I also probably proposed or endorsed the idea of building up a youth solidarity platform for the region and for India at all. So this was very much in my focus from the very beginning, that the young water champions who come out of this training or come out of this program will be an integral part of the larger youth network, which we are putting together for India as a whole, for South Asia. So what are your plans? And how could our boys and girls be connected to the larger water world, and how can they be integrated with the, for example, the interns they have that you already have. So how we can sustainably continue the interaction between them. So these are different things that we are looking forward to discuss in this session. In the rest of the webinars, again, we will go back to some technical aspects of water. For example, we need to talk about various aspects of groundwater and drinking water. We need to talk about the wetlands, flood, and there are other very important issues, pollution, for example. So those are waiting in the pipeline. But today, I think we should talk about how and why we have come together, how we will develop, how we will grow together in the coming years, in the next 1 or 2 years. So that's the plan, overall plan. Thank you, Manisha. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Parthada, for giving us a very succinct overview of what we are doing and what we are planning. So we very quickly move on to our session, because we have another 1 hour 45 minutes of going together in this journey. So for this discussion of 1 hour, may I request my team member Ria to introduce our distinguished guests and also Parthada, and on the topic that they are going to discuss around.
Thanks, Manisha. Very warm welcome to everyone who's present here today. Thank you so much, Parthada, for the words of encouragement to the youth given, also because it's a very pertinent matter in today's day and age. Like you rightly mentioned, water is a universal element. So I guess it is a part and parcel of everybody's life, whether we like it or not. On that note, I would like to introduce our distinguished guests. I will begin with Dr. Veena Khanduri. Dr. Khanduri is at present the Executive Secretary cum Country Coordinator of the India Water Partnership. She has a PhD in Environmental Biology from the Forest Research Institute, Dehradun. She has, more than 32 years of experience in project appraisal, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation of projects in different sectors such as water, livelihood, food security, economic and social development, women development, microfinance, rural and urban sanitation, water and natural resource management, climate change, forest and environmental sector. Furthermore, she has supported the International Fund for Agricultural Development in Chhattisgarh Rural Livelihood Project during 2005 to 2007 in the capacity of Deputy Team Leader and Gender Expert. She was a Gender and SHG Expert in the World Bank Assisted Rural Women and Development Empower Project during 1999 to 2005. She has participated in more than 200 workshops, conferences, seminars, meetings organized by various national, regional, and international organizations. She has organized more than 75 events on integrated water resource management, climate change, water sanitation, and hygiene. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of this session today. And also just to highlight, she's also the author and co-author of 20 publications and written more than 10 media articles. Moving on to Ms. DeLuca. Thank you so much for being a part of the session, ma'am. Before joining GWP South Asia as the communications coordinator in 2014, DeLuca worked as the public information officer at the World Food Program, Sri Lanka, since 2005. There she worked at the PI unit handling public information, donor relations, reporting, and advocacy. She holds 2 masters on mass communication and international relations and a BSc in agriculture, where specialized in agricultural extension obtained from the universities of Kelaniya, Colombo, and Peradeniya, Sri Lanka, respectively. I hope I have pronounced it correctly. And last but not the least, Dr. Partha Jyoti Das. Dr. Partha Jyotidas is an environmental scientist associated with an environmental group Aranyak based in Guwahati with a special interest in the area of water, climate change and disasters. He has done research for more than 20 years on interdisciplinary areas in the interface in natural sciences, environmental sciences and social sciences, mostly in the geographical context of the Brahmaputra Barak in brackets Meghna Basin. His area of research and advocacy interests are climate, water, disaster development nexus, risk, resilience, conflicts, and policy. He has implemented about 25 projects, leading to 30 publications, including journal papers, technical reports, monographs, books, chapters, and edited books. So that was the overall introduction to everybody. Manisha or Siddharth, actually, he's here. Maybe he would be interested in introducing the session. Siddharth. He did mention that his mic was not working.
Thank you, Ria. I guess Siddharth's microphone must.
No, it's not working. Yeah.
So I would like to welcome now Partha to take the discussion ahead. And this is a very, very important part of the entire workshop series that we're planning to understand what is the scope and opportunity for our youth, our young water champions, and to understand the work that Diluka and Beenaji have been doing, and where do youths like us fit in there. Over to you, Partha.
Thank you, Manisha. So without mincing words and wasting time, I would like to request anyone of Veena or Diluka who would like to go first. Diluka?
I think Diluka will start and I will take later.
Okay. Thank you very much. So request Diluka to deliver her presentation and also to address the questions and queries that I have already mentioned. We would like you to talk about the kind of regional platform that we are building and what is in need for all of us, and how can our local youths be mainstreamed or connected to the larger world, and what are the promises, what are the challenges, etc., etc. Thank you, Diluka. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Partha. Actually, rather going to the subject, let's start with what is Global Water Partnership, because you need to know what the platform is, what our network is. So let's start with what GWP, I'll use that GWP abbreviation, which is Global Water Partnership. So what Global Water Partnership is? Let's start with that. So, sorry. As you can see in the map, the Global Water Partnership is a network with 3,000 plus institutional partners spread out in 180 countries. You can see it like the colored countries are part of the GWP. And also we have started in 1996 in Stockholm. I'm talking about the Global Water Partnership, the global platform. So we have started in 1996. So this 180 countries gives convening power and deep technical expertise to improve the way the communities and countries manage water to Global Water Partnership. We have 69 accredited country water partnerships and 13 regional water partnerships. So one country water partnership, as an example, I would say it's India Water Partnership, and an example for regional water partnership is South Asia Water Partnership. So we are 13 regions and 69 country water partnerships. Let's move on to our strategy. We believe water crisis needs attention and coordinated action. Therefore, we use our unique value proposition, which is the network, to change the systems. So there, we act, we mobilize, and we learn, so that we have identified 3 anchor areas, which are water solutions for the SDGs and climate resilience through water, transboundary and water cooperation. So where is youth? Actually, we have put it in the next area, which are called cross anchor areas. So these are mobilizing youth, work towards gender equality, and engage private sector. So these are the cross anchor areas. Let's move on. What is GWP South Asia? The South Asia GWP office. We have launched in 2002. And it is, as I mentioned earlier, it is one of the 13 regional water partnerships. The partnership applies integrated water resources management, solutions to improve water management for sustainable development. What is our network? As I have shown in the earlier picture, the network is linked through the country water partnerships, which includes 6 countries, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. And also we have institutional partners. We have about 421 institutional partners, and also our regional water partnership. We leverage funds through the GWP co-funds, which is given to us, as well as locally raised funds. And our chair, she's coming from Bangladesh actually. Her name is Dr. Niloufar Islam, who is the first female chair of GWP SAS, and she has appointed in 2020. And below you can see our regional council. Actually, we held the regional council annually, but due to the COVID situation, we were not able to meet physically last year, but still we have had the regional council meeting online. What is our mission? What is GWP South Asia's mission? A water secure South Asia. And what is our mission? It is to promote water security and climate resilience in South Asia as a key part of sustainable regional and national development for economic growth and human security, keeping integrated water resources management intact. As I said, we have regional partners. We have regional partners like SACEF and the United Nations Environment Program, UNICEF, GCF, UNDP, CAPNET, WMO. So we are working with all these partners regionally, as well as we have country-specific partners. These are the country-specific, some of the country-specific partners, I would say. So I'll stop here. If you have any questions, you can raise at this moment. This is a brief introduction about what is GWP and what is GWP South Asia. Then I will give the floor to Dr. Veena so she can introduce what is India Water Partnership is. Then we both can move on to our youth initiative.
That's fine.
So yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Over to Veena.
Okay.
Thank you, Diluka. So you can share my presentation. And first of all, I want to thank Dr. Partha, Manisha, Pranav, and all the team at Aranyak. You know, it is a very, very pleasure for me that we are today going to talk about the GWP South Asia Young Water Professional Platform. And prior to that, the country has already started the initiatives. And I think, Diluka, if you see, when we have started the baseline exercise for the South Asia, Dr. Partha Das was involved, and he encouraged us that it is a very, very good exercise. which IWP along with GWP South Asia has started, and it is going to contribute in a very meaningful manner. So I'm happy that Manisha has already stated in her statement that how they have selected 18 youths from the Assam, and how this whole exercise is exploring the local issues, which is very, very important, because we are going to start from the local to the national and then regional. And this is the way we have to take this program in a more meaningful way. She also talked about the different kind of webinars which have been conducted, and fortunately I was part of all those exercises, and I really realized the kind of knowledge and guidance these youth needed is very, very important, and the way Dr. Partha was steering the whole process. So thank you so much, Diluka, for giving a perspective of Global Water Partnership and Global Water Partnership South Asia. As you have pointed out that we are having 13 regions, 69 country water partnerships. And these country water partnerships are working in South Asia in the 6 countries which you have elaborated. And we as an India Water Partnership, what we are doing, who are we? I just wanted to share that we are a non-profit organization. We are also one of the accredited country water partnership by the Global Water Partnership. We are a very, very independent voice in the water management. We are giving our independent assessments through the policy to the government. We are also taking lot of exchange information between different kind of stakeholders, and to bring all these stakeholders at one platform is our network great strength. We are also doing a lot of work for stimulating the public awareness. So if you see the topic of the workshop today, the solidarity, I think the initiative of IWPs are basically accelerating the network partners' strength to undertake the very, very critical and unbiased analysis of issues. We are also empowering communities. We are stimulating public awareness and creating dialogue and exchange of information, as well as we are working as a platform to take the issues from the India Water Partnership. And this is the whole idea of this whole workshop, that how we can bring different partners. Our reason is Water Secure India with participation of all these stakeholders. And we also support for the sustainable water management at national, regional, river basin level, sub-basin level, and the local levels in India. And that you will see in our work, which we are doing with the partners. Next. If you see the unique strength of this whole network is, we are having more than 100 partners across India, which are from the research institute, non-government organization, community-based organizations. Some are the private companies who are part of IWP network, some government public sector undertakings. And now some individuals are also becoming our partners based on their knowledge and skills. How we work in the whole India, we feel that we alone cannot work. So we have created area water partnerships and the zonal water partnership, because these zonal water partnership are working in the different geographies, and area water partnership are working within the zonal water partnership to take up the issues of water and conflicts at their local level. The unique strength, if you see, we have the action research program, we have the knowledge building exercise, we are convening lot of policy analysis, and we are into the advocacy for taking the sustainable development goal agenda from the country perspective. And one of the example of the policy analysis, I think it is very, very, pleasure to share that last year we have come up with a very, very effective policy brief about the climate resilience for the Assam, and Dr. Partha Das was one of the main author for that. And it was based on the action research, then the knowledge and the advocacy which created during this whole exercise. And then he come up with a policy brief for the exercise. So this is the kind of work which we are taking up. Next. Diluka, you can change the, hello?
Sorry.
Hello, Diluka, you can change the slide. Hello.
The presentation got stuck, Dr. Veena. 1 second.
Okay, okay. I'll wait. No issue.
Click on the screen. It will move.
Go to back. Yes. Now come. Yes. So as Diluka have pointed out about the different kind of strategy for the Global Water Partnership, and taking the Global Water Partnership strategy into our national perspective. So if you see, we are working with the gender inclusion, we are promoting gender equality, and we are focusing on the institutional leadership in the programs which are already existing in the our country water partnerships. There are very good examples of the this institutional leadership which we have taken up in Telangana, where the women are custodian of the water ATMs. The second thing is the climate resilience. As you know that our water sector is totally dependent on the situation related to the flood and drought management. So the kind of insights through the policy brief, the kind of insights by creating the South Asia disaster management tool, and then taking the national dialogues for those exercises from the climate resilience perspective. These things are our focus areas. Diluka have rightly pointed out that we have the cross-cutting areas, and youth is one of the area where we have started work. But I just wanted to tell you that for India Water Partnership, youth mobilization, youth-led initiatives are integral part of our programs. We are also having lot of interaction with youth wherever we are working with the communities. And in some of the programs, we have started leveraging the water resource management to build employment opportunities at the village level. There are examples of Jaltara filter, and there are different kind of water kits which our network partners have created, and they have started coming up with the providing the employment opportunities for the communities. We are also facilitating youth for innovative approaches, and this is the whole genesis of this whole program, that how this platform is going to come up with different kind of innovative approaches, not the kind of approach which is always like knowledge generation, the kind of hand holding every time, but how they come up with the new innovative ideas and how they take the water sector from their perspective. That is the whole idea we are anchoring. Stakeholder participation is our major strength, because we have unique strength of the partnership across the India, and they are having the multiple stakeholders at the village level, at the state level, and then the regional level, and they are providing the knowledge. Also, they are participating in the different kind of programs like improved governance, achievement of the common goals, and sometimes one partner's strength is leveraging the other partner for taking the agenda. And if we see today's webinar and the past successive webinars, this is the kind of synergy which we are having with the partners. Like Aranyak have already started the youth program almost, I think, 7-8 months back. And at that time we have started this stakeholder analysis and the baseline survey. So the kind of synergy, the kind of exchange of information, and the kind of hand-holding through the stakeholder mobilization can be achieved. This part we are doing very successfully. As I pointed out that we are supporting policies related to IWRM, and I'm just highlighting here because that is not part of this whole presentation, that we have almost 6 and 7 states. We have reviewed the draft water policies, and we have created a special chapter for the National Water Policy 2012 related to the climate change and IWRM perspective. We also serve as a consultative platform. So many times we are having the invitations and requests to use our platform for taking the agendas which can be given the importance at the national sector. We are also steering rational policy discourses like social, economical, and scientific data, because there are many areas where we need a validated scientific data, and that scientific data can give the direction to take the actions for the policy discourse. So those kind of exercises also we are leading. Next. If we see the impact in numbers from past 2 years, you see we have engaged 600 youth, 400 women, men we have trained in IWRM. We have taken 150 school children, 30 municipal staff we have trained, 50 women trained on climate change and water security. We have also trained farmers. We have also trained 80 youth champions and 37 workshops, consultations and meetings. So this is overall idea I'm giving in terms of impacts of our work. Next. So now why we are talking today? Because the need of our this hour is to promote the SDG goal 6. And if you see the picture of the globe and the human, this 70% of our Earth's surface is the water, and 60% of human body is also all alone comprising of water. But at the same time, if you see the right picture, 97% of the water on Earth is not drinkable. It's the sea water. And 50% have no access to safe drinking water in our country. So we have complex geographical, ecological, social factors. We are growing in population. And because of this, increase the economic activity and improve the structure of living, which has led to increase in the competition and conflicts over the limited fresh water. And that's why there is a call for a holistic and integrated approach as a shared responsibility of all stakeholders. Now, you all are aware that there are a lot of projects going on, but still it is a challenge. So, can we think of achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 6 without participation of youth? Can we think? I think everybody will say
no.
So that's why today we are going to talk about the youth, why youth are important, because if you see India is the most populous country, and it has more than 50% of its population below the age of 25. And most important section is the youth. So if you see, the youth is comprising around 19% of India's total population, and the data which have shown here, 34.33%, that population we have already crossed. And India is also seen to remain younger than China and Indonesia, because the two major countries other than India which determines two demographic features of Asia. So India is in a very, very important position. Why we are talking about youth? Because they are agent of change. They are having the vibrant energy. They can be a good leader and influencer. And if you see these two exercises, these two photographs, one is of a very, very polluted river where we are taking the exercise with the students about quality of monitoring of their water. Next, Diluka, yeah. And the other is also of a very, very polluted river where the youths of that particular village are working for cleaning of the river. So as Manisha have pointed out, and Ria also pointed out, that young people have different development challenges and they have the different kind of consumption patterns. But during this whole development challenges, what we face, young people will inherit the development challenges, and their consumption patterns is going to change the successful sustainable development in the long run, because they know how to change the consumption pattern in a useful way. They are also the custodian of protecting the environment, promoting economic and social development, and also going to drive our society towards sustainable development. They are also full of education, and they can engage other youths to offer opportunities to share knowledge and information. And I just wanted to share my experience in the previous webinar. I was very, very happy because we are providing a unique space for cultural change in the water management. And that I realized in the last webinar, that the local perspective, local cultural voices were heard during this water management practices in the webinar. So it is very, very important that the youth can provide very, very good space for the cultural change in the water management. Then we are also engaging young generation for creating awareness, at the same time to facilitate and to build the water workforce, lead water professionals, managers, practitioners, technicians, and the policymaker. And we never know that during this whole process of our youth-led platform, how many water professionals, practitioners, and technicians will be created. So I'm very, very helpful that this program is going to leverage a very, very good synergy. So this is just one of the example I'm just sharing, that in our work, we are working with the youth for raising awareness on water use, conservation, and utilization. At the same time, we are also building a cadre of local water warriors. If you see the young people, they are doing the water audit. They are talking about their school, about their houses, about the quality of water which they are drinking. And these kind of information is giving them a lot of stimulation to see how they can conserve the water and how they can utilize the water. Next. Now, actually, I was having this impression that not only in the urban areas, but in the local bodies, youth are playing a very, very important role in the governance. And why I'm saying this, because I have seen in my practical examples that Gram Panchayats level, youth are working with the water supply and sanitation committees. And these water supply and sanitation committees are custodian for the ensuring safe drinking water and hygiene for village. But why I'm thinking the role of youth, because these committees are not very much empowered by the knowledge and by the kind of technical information they require. So if you see the first photograph, it is in the Madurai, where this exchange program is going on, and the youth are giving technical presentation about the design of the ponds to the Panchayati Raj institutions. The second diagram is about the water quality. It is in the Bihar. It is in the Ganges basin. Especially in Bihar, you all are aware that there is an arsenic problem. And these youths are just talking to the farmers about the quality of the water which they are drinking. And after persuading with these villagers, they contact the Panchayati Raj institutions, then village water associations, and then self-help groups. And then we took the program. So youth have a very, very important role for giving a direction to the watershed development committees, which are already existing in the under the agriculture department. And they are also taking improvising water resources for irrigation. So how they can play a role, like indiscriminate use of submersible, depleting groundwater. So they can talk about this. So the role of youth is the strengthening the water management committees to undertake the role of water governance and water stewardship. So when we were going through our field experiences, we have come up with the idea for taking the youth engagement through the fellowship program in 2018, and in 2019 with one of our partners we started this program. And the overall idea was to raise awareness and social consciousness, then see first-hand problems and strategies how they can deal with the water exigencies in the country. Then we have to develop leadership skills and innovations in ideating for water smart solutions and executing the innovative ideas. So how it has come, because many times when we interacted with the young graduates about the water, many times the young graduates were not aware about the wetland. What is a wetland? What is a water body? And many of them have never seen a lake. So with this perspective, we thought that we have to start a youth fellowship and we have to raise awareness and social consciousness. So this is the first cohort photograph, and I'm happy to share that Anjali Yadav, which is part of our country water partnership as a one intern, Anjali Yadav is making the presentation. And she has gained a lot of experience by honing the skills, not only for the project technical aspects, but writing the blogs, making the videos, and how to communicate the technical problems. So this is one of the example which our fellows have prepared. And you can see at the left hand side, this is about Jaltara filter. And the whole project completed by the fellows were given in the infographics. Sorry. This is the second photograph about the Samshi Lake, and I just wanted to share with you that this was with the INTAC, and Kiran was the intern who have completed this assignment. And many times I asked her that, have you gone to this lake? She said, no, ma'am, now I'm planning. And finally, she visited, she met with the Resident Welfare Association, and then she tried to see the proposed plan for this revival of Shamshi Lake with the INTAC. Next. This is again the infographics by the fellows. One is about the environment quest, and one is about the Sebla Ghala, which is a urban slum, which is having the lot of sanitation and polluted water issues. Next, Diluka. Our next work is very interesting work, which I wanted to share with you, that we are working with one of our partner, and we have come up with a GIS based solutions for creating the Hindon River Basin dashboard. And in this dashboard, when we were preparing, we have come up with the kind of audience like Ganga Praharis, Ganga Doot, Nehru River Kendra volunteers, which are working at the ground level. And then in between, we have started working on the story maps to tell the communities what is the river, what is their river, how this river is taking the journey, and how school children can participate in the awareness program. So when we make this presentation to NMCG, they were very happy, and they said, now we have to take Ganga Praharis, Ganga Doots, and Nehru River Kendra volunteers for this initiative. And we, in the last couple of months, we have given the presentation on the story maps to all this audience, and in some schools also. And Dr. Partha, I just wanted to share last webinar. One of the speaker also touched upon the story map in one of the presentation. But when we have prepared this, we have created some animated videos also. Let's see how we can populate this through the platform.
Okay, good to know that. Yeah.
This is the program in Hindon Basin. Again, this is about the how we are stimulating the behavior and water quality testing and the kind of advocacy which youth can take up. Next. Yes. So this is the picture which I have shown you earlier was
Please go on.
Undertook water quality monitorings, and then we moved to the various World Water Days program, and where our most of the target audience were the school students. The basic things like the POD, COD, turbidity, these aspects have been taught to these students, and these monitoring tools and monitoring kits were provided by the International Water Agency, and these were very, very pictorial pictures, and students took it as a very, very good exercise because it was just like a fun activity. Now coming to the third picture, if you see where we were talking about the Bihar arsenic, and this whole community, we have created the water champions. They are creating the livelihoods through Jalkalp, and they are taking this as a revenue for the village. At the same time, it is a livelihood activity, and they are promoting the safe drinking water through these water filters. Next. So coming to the involvement of country water partnership, if you see, as Diluka have said, that we are the country water partnership, and we as a country water partnership, how we are going to engage with the larger network across India. And what Dr. Partha Das have asked me, how this leverage can be taken up at a big fora. So Dr. Partha Das, it is not a stand alone exercise. The whole idea and genesis for this program was from the beginning that there are many similar kind of networks existing, and so many local youths are working at the village level, at the state level, and there are many platforms existing. But how these platforms can come together for taking the big agenda. And in that pursuit, I think the kind of work which Assam youths are doing, it's very, very wonderful, because the kind of exercise which we are going to take up, the next course of action, you have already started. So first of all, congratulations to you. At the same time, I will urge that the youth interns of India will definitely connect with the Manisha and Ria, and they will talk, they will plan the next course of action, and how the course of action which you are already taking up can be taken as a leverage for country youth platform. So that is the whole idea. Just go to back, Diluka. So why I'm talking about this IWP network, the solidarity, we have to anchor and steer the process for putting youth narratives on water security, which Dr. Partha Das have already talked about, that youth narrative for the water policy. And he's talking about the Northeast and basically Assam. Similar way, that same way it can be achieved for the other states also. And with the partners who are working at ground level for promoting good governance, for ensuring the safe drinking water, hygiene, and improvising water resources. I think that is the leverage of this whole network. And we are there to facilitate the whole process. Wherever you need any kind of support, you people are already doing a lot of good work, but how that work can be populated, that is equally important. And through this young water professional platform, I think the kind of work which Assam youth have already started at the regional level can be taken up as one of the example. So with this, I give floor to Dr. Partha Das. Thank you so much, Dr. Partha. The kind of dreams we were dreaming, you have already taken the initiative. And thank you so much for Manisha and Ria and Pranav to take up this whole exercise. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to Diluka and Veena. This is so encouraging, and this is so self-convincing, I would say. I'm sure our young water champions, whoever is present here, and the entire organizing team have learned a lot from these two presentations. Especially, I would emphasize that, the kind of activities that IWP is doing in other parts of the country. And of course, a lot of this information is available in the website, their website also. But I think there are several lessons to learn, or several takeaway messages for my team here. This will go very well from part of this presentation to make into some of our future possible activities. I can say there are several very good activities being done by IWP in other parts of India, which we can also replicate, or at least in a way adapt. So I encourage the entire team, and I would also think about it, to see how we can address similar issues in a similar youth-friendly way. And I'm also so happy to see that in most of IWP activities that has been presented here, the change agent is the youth only. It has happened on mostly, through youth. So it is also heartening to see that how youth are actually adopting even scientific ways of estimating pollution, water quality by using simple user instruments, etc. So that is something in a way we are also doing in another program of Aranya. We are now documenting 15 different degraded rivers of Assam by engaging youth groups. That's a different story, but with a similar mandate and with a similar objective. And some of these rivers are also from urban water bodies and wetlands of Guwahati. So definitely, in future, we can think about using, engaging more and more school children, for example, in a similar manner to, get familiar to the rivers, the kind of problems that rivers have or wetlands have, and to devise solutions to study them using a very, very basic scientific approach to talk to the communities, to talk to the people, to know their perception. So these are different activities that we can take up, and I am happy to say that, and Manisha and all others, they have already come up with an idea of having some youth-oriented, in-person youth-oriented program like River Walk, etc. Maybe that will be the culmination of the entire webinar series in the last week of November. Let's see how best we can conduct this. The other thing I am emphasizing, and from Bina's presentation, is youth and innovation. This young age is the prime time to conceive innovative ideas, because youths carry a lot of creative energies, and this energy needs to be channelized. This energy, huge momentum, and the enthusiasm they have need to be properly channelized, and that is one of the major objectives of this program also. And therefore, they need proper orientation and proper orientation to scientific and logical thinking. That is why we will also have to try to bring in more and more innovative ideas to the way that we are conducting this program. I hope in the next incarnation of the program, which I will definitely have, I will definitely like to pursue with more people, with more younger teams and partners. We can bring in more and more innovative ideas. So that that is also kind of an I would say an objective that we have to pursue it if we can. We'll try to bring in some more innovation into the conduct of the next few webinars that are left in this series. And the fourth important takeaway is the SDG 6. So I'm sure most of everybody in this audience is familiar with the Sustainable Development Goals, but definitely in the context of water, I would request you to know more, read more, explore more about this particular SDG, which is about water and sanitation. And if you log into the SDG website, you will come to know about thousands of activities being done, and being done by young young people and children all over the world to address problems related to water and sanitation. That will also give you a lot of ideas about the homework that we are giving you, or the kind of interaction we are having in a separate WhatsApp group. Also, it's also for Bina and Diluka to know that we have created a separate WhatsApp group called Youth for Water, and where these young participants are interacting with us and among one another. So now with these comments, I would like to make this entire session open, and I would encourage everybody in the audience to interact with Diluka and Bina with whatever questions and queries they have.
Sorry, Dr. Partha. Actually, I have another part of the presentation to continue about our platform.
Yeah, actually.
Sorry.
No,
sorry, somehow I missed it. So please continue, Diluka. Please continue, and then our audience will interact with both of you.
Okay. Sorry for the confusion. Because I really wanted to give you an idea about what GWP is and what GWP South Asia is. Then let's like everything is in place now, all the documentation and everything is in place. So why we need youth in this platform and the network? So why? Because the young people have the potential to be effective agents of change, and they bring youth, energy, and urgency to the table. And they are not just leaders and what users of future, but they are influencers, innovators, and partners today. So you may be like, these faces are very familiar, and you might see how they have influenced and how they've taken loads of people to a course. So that's why we thought of using youth and encouraging youth and mobilizing youth. Therefore, in 2015, GWP engaged a youth, developed a youth engagement strategy. And our approach was by youth, with youth, and for youth. So we have designed it with the objective of to provide an overarching framework to guide GWP and its network in engaging with young people, youth organizations, and young water professionals to empower them to become agents of change. So there are 3 strategic goals that we have defined. First is the enhancing youth participation, and second, developing youth capacity and social capital, and third, strengthening engagement of youth organizations. So as I have discussed earlier in the strategy, youth are one of the cross-anchor areas, mobilizing youth for water resources management. So youth is in both the GWP strategy, as well as we have defined and designed a separate strategy for youth. So this is important. Youth is important for GWP. So we have started different youth engagement activities in GWP to build their capacities and to mobilize them, to raise awareness, and we provide access to networks and decision making. So we provide these platforms to youth to engage with us. And so these are the ongoing projects of GWP. This is very interesting project. Water Academy for Youth. We have designed this with the objective of, there are 4 objectives basically, to provide the practical experience and customized interdisciplinary and cross-sectoral courses are there, and to build the capacities and to develop pathways for accelerate collaborative solutions on SDGs. So these are the objectives, and I am happy to say that we as GWP have conducted 2 programs within 2020, one in Africa and the other one in Caribbean. So as GWP South Asia, we are also planning to do a similar program in the next year, which is 2022. This is the structure of the program. And there's another program that we are conducting, which is Youth for Water and Climate. This has started in 2018. And we call proposals. These are biannual calls. And we give seed funding of 3,500 euros plus the technical support. And we do webinars, capacity building workshops, and also mentorships. And these are some of the successful stories of this Youth for Water and Climate. These are the activities that are being conducted at the global level. And then we move on to the South Asia Youth and Young Water Professionals platform, which we have started designing in 2020. And now it is at the phase of populating. Even at the South Asia level, there are a few needs that has been highlighted by the youth. First was tools and practical knowledge sharing and effective capacity building, matchmaking, networking and mentorship, and partnerships and synergies. Therefore, in order to harness the power of youth, which is the South Asia's greatest asset, in driving positive social change, environment sustainability, and technological innovation, GWP SAS came up with this idea of Youth and Young Water Professionals platform in 2020. And we have started with a country level baseline study, which has been conducted in all the 6 countries. So we expect the platform to be a meaningful value addition to the existing regional youth networks. As Dr. Veena has mentioned earlier, we are not going to compete with any of the youth network at the country level or at the regional level. But what we are going to do is we are going to add the value of these existing regional networks, and also to leverage effective participation of youth in the implementation of Sustainable Development Goal number 6, which is safe water and sanitation. This is the baseline survey that has been conducted. So as you can see, we have we did this questionnaire and inquired 191 individuals, which is gender balance, of course, 94 females and 97 male. And as you can see in the second graph, majority of them, which is 76% of respondents, said the importance of a regional youth network. Most of them, they said that of course they are part of the country network, or there are some regional networks, but they are not active. So they said almost 76% said that it is needed. And also we haven't stopped at that level because the sample size is very small. Then we went on some case studies, and they also have mentioned the importance of having a regional network. One said, yes, I think it's absolutely needed. It is quite hard to match job applicants and companies, organizations. There are problems both in supply and demand. I hope this platform would help to solve problems at both ends. This is one example. So we have reached out many, and we received these comments. So our target audience, which is our YYPP, which is Youth and Young Water Professional Platform South Asia. We are targeting the youth between 15 and 35 years old, either individuals or groups. Individuals who are interested in water security and climate resilience, young project leaders, entrepreneurs, university students. These are the individuals that we are targeting, as well as the groups. Groups are the youth-led NGOs or youth networks. And also we are targeting the mandated institutions such as the regional or the national institutes, or else as well as other key partner organizations. So these are the objectives of our platform. You can read it like there are 6 objectives. First, to formalize a cohesive, evidence-based youth initiative for educating and collaborating with young people. We have put educating as well as collaborating as one of the objectives. And then to mobilize and empower the existing GWP youth ambassadors, young water professionals, and wider youth networks in the countries. So we are planning to mobilize these existing entities and to promote, celebrate cross-cultural diversity, because we are thinking of a regional platform, not a country platform. So we will celebrate the cross-cultural diversity, and we are planning to strengthen their collaboration and to enhance the connection with decision-making stakeholders, because there are a lot of decisions are taking place without the youth consent. So we are planning to leverage that to contribute the capacity building, knowledge and innovation in higher education, and to operationalize the ongoing GWP youth initiatives. Because as Dr. Veena said, there are a lot of initiatives happening in the country level. These are the things that you have highlighted, Dr. Veena has highlighted only in India, but there are another 5 countries who are doing their own initiatives. So we are planning to further operationalize those. And since as I have mentioned that we have started this initiative in 2020, now at the moment we have these documents in hand. We have done the synthesis report of the 6 country reports. And also we have developed the governance documents for the core group and the future planning and the accreditation process. These things we have in our hand. So that what we are planning to do is actually we are planning to take them to the new partners or the new youth who are going to join with us and get their consent and give them the ownership of these documents, because these are not the ones, they have to feel that this is their own platform. So we are planning to give the documents to them to improve or to alter. So all these things can be done in the future. As I said, we have the planning document, which has there we have break it down for 3 phases of the platform. First phase, basically it's GWP driven, and the second phase, third phase, it grows more. And also this platform works through different work streams, which are 5 work streams that have been identified, which is marketing and outreach, policy and advocacy, partnerships, finance, and knowledge exchange. Because we believe youth have different capacities, and any youth who is having any of these capacities can join with us and select their own preference or prioritize their own preference and start from the scratch, from the first phase onwards, according to their preference, and contribute the platform. This is in the detailed work plan that we have done. So all these activities have done put together here. And since we need more partners to work with us, so we have done a very clear accreditation process, the partner accreditation process. So Aranayak, you are mostly welcome to come and join with us, because we are planning to do is very smoothly. We are following the GWP accreditation process. So we make sure to have it very smoothly, and we look for more partners to come and join with us. So as I said, we are at the first pace where the GWP is largely the driving the community of practice, and so we are helping, and we have actually at the moment we have already recruited 16 interns, 2 from country level and 2 from regional level, altogether 16 interns. Now even today they are joining with us, so that we want youth to take the initiative and design their own platform rather than we being involving as adults. So they will design it, we are there to guide. So we have already started it. So we have contracted them till the end of this year. They're mainly focusing on popularizing this platform. So by the end of this 2021, we'll be having a media platform with Facebook and Instagram, and these 16 youth are going to produce call to action videos and posters and an online newsletter. And they're also going to leverage the platform among the partners. And also, as I mentioned earlier, they are going to validate the materials which we have already developed, and they will discuss with the partners and organize 3 different types of workshops, which is 1 community of practice workshop, and 2 soft skill development, and a webinar on water specific. And finally, towards the end of this year, we are planning to launch the platform at the regional level, global level, as well as the country level, with the help of these 16 youth. So we have informed them to identify important events that are being happening. And again, I would ask Aranayak, if you are planning to do a specific project, maybe a youth specific project, water specific project towards the end of this year, please invite us so that our youth will come and join with you to launch this our platform. As I said, we have this page, Facebook page already developed with our team. So I would ask all the youth to click on this link. Actually, one of our youth will put it in the chat box as well. Please click on the link and visit our Facebook page and like us, follow us. This will encourage our youth to move further as well as to interact more with you. And also, we are expecting to publicize a lot of activities, happenings in this platform, not even in one country, but all around the regions. So please welcome, visit our site and follow us on this Facebook page. So finally, these are the things that I'm expecting from you. Follow us on Facebook. At the moment, we don't have the Instagram page, but we are planning to develop that as well. And also, please put your email addresses on the chat box so that one of our youth will get back to you and get in touch with you with more details if you want to. Maybe they can call you on WhatsApp because they are all around the region. So please add your email address and maybe a mobile number so that they can reach out to you. And also, we always welcome and encourage you to contribute to strengthen the platform. Maybe your nice ideas, maybe there's some innovations, maybe any event that is happening in the country, please share it with us so that we can give you the publicity at the regional level, as well as we can make this platform active. The final photographs, actually, I have taken from one of our youth's presentation. Let's work together to reach goals, support each other, make the team spirit working. Let's do the collaboration, communication, and do the exchange. So this is what I want. And this is what the Regional Water Partnership want me to introduce. So if you have any questions, please ask so that I can help you to get the clarifications.
Thank you, Diluka.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you, Dr. Partha, for giving this opportunity for me, for the region, basically. And also Dr. Veena to make this, the coordination and make this happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diluka. And there's as I said, like from Bina's presentation, I can see a lot of takeaway from your presentations also. And thank you for ensuring us, first of all, that we can use this platform to outreach to a larger audience, at least a regional audience. So I would request my team to think about maybe preparing short stories about what we are doing right now with some photographs and etc. And and post to you so that you can consider and see if you can tell about our activities in that platform. And then just a technical aspect of it, I'm glad to see that you have defined the youth as the upper limit is 35 and all that. But in this exercise, we are actually following the National Youth Policy 2014 of Government of India. So according to this policy, our here youth is defined between 14 and 29. So, but it will be really, useful to bring in, a little bit more elderly, youth, because if the upper age limit is 35, that means a lot more research experience comes to the network, because that is the time when most of young researchers who has achieved something, so that they have a story to tell you, that lies they lie in that group actually. I know because it happened to me also. By the time I became eligible to tell my stories with some conviction, I already became 35. I was no longer a youth in India. But anyway, so it's good to see that, and we will keep that in mind. So thank you very much.
Partha, may I say something? Dr. Partha,
Tell me, tell me,
something?
tell me, tell
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, actually, if you remember, when we did this baseline survey,
Hmm,
we have sent the questionnaire to Aranya.
hmm.
There was a respondent. So we were actually apprehensive that how to take this into the survey. But at the same time, we realized that since you were anchoring the whole process, your perspective and your approach is also really needed for taking up this survey. Same time, if you remember, in 2017, during India Water Week, we have organized a special session, role of youth in water management. And I know that for role of youth as well as for gender, since I was in the working committee, technical committee, I put this point that role of youth and gender has to be taken somehow. So that way we could utilize this whole opportunity as a parallel session. And you was one of the speaker, if you remember. And we have given our recommendation to the Government of India at that time. But what I largely want to compliment that what DeLuca have talked about the overall objective of this platform and the kind of country water partnership initiatives going on and the kind of leverage we are having with our existing partners. It is already on the move. And today's workshop is that actually the culmination of that only. If you see the leverage, if you see the coordination, if you see the pushing of Aranya that you have to come for this workshop because you are already doing similar kind of exercise. And that's why, DeLuca, I just wanted to assure you that through country water partnership, you will have a lot of such partners who are already working on the same kind of idea and approaches. And I think with the leverage of the partners, we can really transform the overall, water management approach. Because the kind of issues you are taking up, especially the governance issue, which I have talked about, I felt during my field presence that there are the water management committees at the village level. But these village water committees are not empowered at all. They are not knowledgeable. They are not having any technical information, scientific information. And then at that time, if we have a youth cadre at the local level, at the state level, they can complement their governance issues. So that is the overall idea which I feel. And thank you so much for making this successful. DeLuca, thank you so much for your presentation and for the whole initiative that you have given the time. And I also thank my interns also. They will participate in the future course of webinars which will be conducted by Aranya, and you can give us the information. We can circulate to regional water partnership. So
Thanks, thanks to
And
both of you.
Dr. Partha, actually, almost all our interns are joining today, the regional interns, so they can interact with
Of course,
your youth.
that is in our agenda. That's what I was going to tell you as my next step. Thank you very much for thanks to both of you for your very, very illustrative and informative presentation, which is going to help us a lot. And also I would say that this has influenced us. It has already influenced my thinking and for the next couple of webinars. So thank you very much.
Dr. Partha, I just
Veena, I'm really running out of time, right?
Yes, I just wanted to tell one thing that I just forgot to mention about one of India youth ambassador, which is working in the India Water Partnership team, Shubham, who has put a lot of efforts to to work with the interns and to stimulate interns and for making this presentation. So I think I really wanted to compliment him, and he's also part of this team. That's it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. To know that, such a beautiful presentation has contribution from young water professional. So
Yes.
I just one request, say at the end of maybe November or December first week, at the when this entire series of webinar culminates, I think we will have a couple of water champions from the Assam team, from this regional team, who will have probably achieved the capability to interact at that level. And I would thank you very much if you consider picking up some of our young water champions as interns, or work with some of them actively in future. So post maybe this webinar series, will be in a better position to interact at this youth level. But anyway, thank you very much also for ensuring that some young interns are present here. But before that, I would like to know if anybody has any questions to both of you. At least one or two from the audience, especially from our trainees, and also the organizing team, because they are also young water professionals. Anybody, if you want to know more from both of them?
Definitely, part of the very interesting presentations and some very interesting opportunities that Diluka and Veena ji have shared. We would actually have already written to Diluka. Would love to get in touch with you, because there are a lot of possibilities that we are exploring. Possibly what we can do is we can get into the breakout room, because we are actually, in the interest of time, we have overshoot the time. So in the interest of time, let's get into a breakout room to understand more how we can explore this. Our young water champions themselves bring in a lot of experience and their own understanding, and I'm sure they would love to know more about what you are doing and share their journey as well. Maybe in this breakout room also, if our young water champions can share what is that one issue that they have thought through in the past few weeks, the last assignment that we have given. So I'll quickly assign the breakout rooms, and I'm doing it automatically to, I mean, it might be that we might bump into each other, and let's get back in another 15 minutes for this.
That's fine, Manisha. That's as per the agenda. But I would like this entire group to get introduced to the new people. I mean,
Sure.
the interns. So if at a later stage of time, if we can do that. Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. So if possible for both Veena and Diluka, can you also join one of these breakup rooms if you have time, and see actually how it goes? And I also request all the interns of GWP to join the breakout rooms as assigned by our team. I will also be a part of one of these groups.
Can we all can you all join one of the rooms that have been assigned, please? Pranav, I think you also have to join.
Okay.
Veena ji, I think you have been assigned room 2. Yes,
Our
you're
conversation was
forced to
not
come back.
complete. We have been forced back into the hall. I wanted to continue for another 2 minutes. Sorry, Jyotisman and Sarvistha, we couldn't complete the. But it was good to know one new person, one new intern, Mahalakshmi Pooja. We got introduced to her and listened to her, how she entered into this work career around water. Good.
Sure. Okay, so we are running close to time, so I am assuming that we all are back. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. We quickly have one presentation to give you an example of what youth has already been doing in this particular region. And we bring in our own example of the Global Shapers Guwahati Hub. I will take exactly 5 minutes to take you through the kind of work we are doing and some of the work which is actually around water issues. And Parthada actually has been a close part of it since the beginning. So let me very quickly start with the presentation. Okay, so who are we? We are Global Shape. We are at Global Shapers Community Guwahati Hub, and we are part of the Global Shapers community, which is an initiative of the World Economic Forum. So the Global Shapers community comprises of youths from 18 to 30 years, and they come together, all the youths from a particular city come together to form a hub. So we come from Guwahati Hub, and we are in total 18 members now, and we have 5 more probationers who have kind of joined. This is a completely voluntary action. We all are different kinds of professionals from different streams of life. Some of us are also students, some of us are also working professionals, entrepreneurs. But this is a voluntary action that we kind of drive, and we are part of the larger World Economic Forum. And we are driven with the vision of enabling action on sustainable development by empowering youth and promoting inclusivity. As part of the Guwahati Hub, what we have been doing is we have 3 projects. Again, these are projects which are driven by our members. Our members are called Global Shapers, and they are the ones who initiate these projects and drive these projects in groups. So when I take you through these projects, you'll also get an idea of what you can do within your local youth group or as an individual, because this entire hub also came, like we were born last year in the month of June, when a few of us came together and brainstormed and understood that we need a Guwahati hub, and we reached out to the Global Shapers community in Geneva, and they approved our hub, and we started our work. So to begin with, because this would be of interest to some of you, we started off with our first project, which is called Project Mahabahu. So Mahabahu is the other popular name for Brahmaputra. The idea of this project was to build a response, resilience, and dialogue around the river. The river has parallel existence. It is a boon for so many. It is also a bane for so many. So the idea was to capture these stories, capture these narratives together, build dialogues between communities, between experts, between government representatives. It began with a Assam flood relief. We had driven and there were 4 relief drives. We also organized a fundraising activity. We reached out to 50 families and over 8,000 individuals who received the relief kit. Now, when we worked on this relief and when we shared it with the community, the global community, they were very intrigued and they were very surprised that the floods in Assam at this magnitude actually occurs, and they pushed us to think more, like how can we build more response around it. So then came our project Mahabahu, where we thought that we have to bring in the stories from the community. We have to build a dialogue among different stakeholders, and these were our key things that we kind of started off with. We also had one podcast, so the Guwahati Weekly on Spotify. You guys can go and check it out on Spotify, where we also talk about the nuance insights from the dialogues that we have had. We went and we reached out to communities in Borpeta. We organized these interactions because these interactions gave us an understanding of what this issue is and how grave this issue is. And we kind of documented these FGTs that we have done, and we're planning to disseminate it through a comprehensive report. Then we organized dialogue series. We had 4 dialogues, and Parthada was part of the culminating dialogue. The first dialogue actually looked at, understanding the indigenous voices. So we had community representatives here, we had healthcare experts, we had flood experts, and different representatives discussing together in one platform. So it started off with understanding how it impacts, then going on to the technicalities of how floods occur, what happens in floods, and then looking into solutions and how we can bring about these transformations. So this is about Mahabahu, and now we are also planning to create Humans of Mahabahu. This is like a page, it's similar to Humans of Bombay that has gained traction. The primary idea is to bring in that stories, to bring in that regional and global attention. So we are working towards it. This year, we also organized this lab called Davos Lab Dialogue. This was around healthcare, but we brought in different healthcare experts and professionals to organize this lab. And it was one of the largest dialogue that was organized among the Global Shapers Hub in India East. Then we had one initiative where it was mostly around social media promotion and social media information dissemination around COVID-19. Then this is our third project, which is around skill development. So our shapers come with expertise from finance, from climate activism, from healthcare, and they are the ones then, who mentor youths from the region who need support in building certain soft skills, communication skills, and all these technical skills. So this is a mentorship program we kind of launched. And what are our shapers doing? So the shapers are actually creating a big name in the international platforms. They are part of the Climate Reality Global Training Corps, not just as mentees, but also as mentors. They have been selected within India's 17 young climate leaders as part of the COP26 United Nations action. They're also part of global stage organized by the World Economic Forum in healthcare forums. So this is a brief, and you can reach out to us, you can understand more about what we are doing. But essentially, the idea is to tell you that there is no limit to doing what you want to do, and we are open to collaborations. We are open to collaborations not just with organizations, but I would also like to request our young water champions who are part of this exciting series of workshops. If you think you have an idea and there is some way you want to execute it, we are open to it. We are open to support it. We also look forward to collaborating. So the collaboration with Aranyak is one of our first collaborations, and we are so happy to be part of this journey. We are learning, and we are able to also build youth in this journey and to reach out to these amazing people from Global Water Partnership, India Water Partnerships. So we look forward to collaborations and supporting you. And for the youth in our workshop, when you're thinking about the local problem that you're picking up, please understand there is no full stop. You can think about sensitizing your own regional level community, your own community itself. You can utilize platforms like the religious places, let's say the Namghars. If you go to the Namghars and you are able to promote about this particular issue, your local governance structure, or you can create a social media campaign, and that's how we have been doing as well. And we are open to collaborate on that. That's all from my side, and I'm really looking forward to actually now listening to our young water champions on what they plan to do. In the last workshop, we gave them an exercise to kind of come up with this local issue, this one issue that they want to work on, and now the next step becomes what is it that they are going to do. So I guess we'll stop it here. We'll not go into the going to do part, because this is for them to think, and we are open to ideas. Part of that, we were also thinking, like Pranav and I were discussing, because we are towards, as we are developing, as we are growing towards the fag end of this workshop, we would request all our participants who really think of that issue, what are the solutions, and if they want to actually interact with us, understand if this is a possibility, that is a possibility, if this is something they want to do, we are available for it to brainstorm.
Okay, thank you, Manisha. It was wonderful to know. Of course, it is known to me and many others, but it is wonderful to know that the kind of good work that you are doing with your team. And from Aranyak, actually, we have taken it very seriously from last 1 year, from 2019 onwards, to work with more and more youth groups, to work with more and more young members of Aranyak. And then one of the reasons why I was scouting for good groups, good youth-based groups, whom I can rope into this program. And it was good to find the Global Shapers. I knew them, well for some time. And now I'm glad also to inform you that after we have started this series of webinars, there are a couple of more youth groups who are approaching us that we also want to work with you, we also want to be part of it. I mean, I think this, in a way, this entire process is starting to have its effect. So it's good. And, we want to encourage more and more youth groups, more and more young people to work on environment and to, utilize their energy, their enthusiasm to do something good for society. So this is only the beginning. I think sky can be the limit for this kind of, collaborative process. So with those words, actually, I mean, this is time to call it a day or night. But I would still like to, like all of our audience, to get introduced to the interns that are representing ZWP today. So can I, request all the interns, whoever is present here, just to briefly introduce them and tell about them in not more than 2 minutes. Who will volunteer? Can I ask somebody to volunteer? Just introduce yourself, because we want you, our young water, participants, to know about you.
Yeah, I'm taking the floor here.
Yes.
This is Mahalakshmi Pooja from India.
Okay.
I'm one of the interns from IWP to GWP. So I completed my master's in integrated water resources management in 2017. Since then, I'm working on that area for about nearly 4 years. Just now, I joined Tata Consulting Engineers Limited as senior engineer in water resources itself. So this internship is my another platform to shine in IWRM concept, because the concept is quite good in the futuristic perspective in water, conserving water resources and taking it to the future generations.
Thank you, Pooja. Who else is there?
Yeah, I would like to take on it. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Mohit Surana. I am currently a country level intern representing India at GWP. I am pursuing BCom honors from Sri Ram College of Commerce, Delhi University. And I have worked in the wash sector through Project ASBA. And I really am passionate about working in the wash sector, because I've seen the water crisis issues in India, and this is what gets me very motivated for working in the GWP platform. I'm really excited for this internship. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohit. Thank you very much. Good to know you. Next. Do we have another member from the intern community? Okay, if there is none, then probably we should still give 5 minutes, an opportunity of 5 minutes for our regular participants to ask any questions that they might have. I mean, to anybody, including the guests and the interns, and to us. If you want to make any comment on this session, how this session was useful to you, or if you would like to know more about the regional approach, or if you'd like to interact with any intern of GWP, anybody.
I think Partha,
Yes.
everybody is keeping quiet.
That's what I'm trying to break the silence.
Yes.
They have
It's a
to. They
complete
have to.
silence.
Yeah. So they should not forget their trainees.
Yeah.
So they should take these opportunities to learn more and more. So, these are good times for them. Okay, and maybe there are some questions could be from the organizing team. They are also good learners. They are also water professionals. They are also water enthusiasts. They're part of the entire team.
Thank you so much, Partha. So I think I don't have any questions, but the thing is that I am being hopeful of several forms of collaboration that we can kind of explore, and especially for our young water champions. And what we are planning is to systematically kind of approach with that particular collaboration. So as part of our work in this engagement, we are asking each participant to kind of develop a kind of an action plan. So they identify what is that one issue and how they are going to act on it. And I'm sure in that act part of it, that is where they would need our support. And Veena ji, since you're here, so is there a possibility where we can reach out to you and say that, you know, so and so person wants to build in a mobilization around this part of the work, and is there a scope where IWP can then support?
Certainly, Manisha. Sometimes it is not a support from the finance part, but resource mobilization. It's a overall how we can leverage the kind of network strength. That is very, very important, because in our Youth Champion program, the champions are working with the different organizations, and these particular organizations are giving the kind of mentorship and the kind of fellowship. So that kind of things are available, and I will be happy, because my role is to strengthen the network. Networking is my forte. So definitely I am going to help all of whosoever come, which is within my limits, I will definitely do.
Okay, let me add. I think at this stage of the entire process, we are actually trying to equip the participants with the basic ideas and understanding and knowledge of water, so that they are enabled to start or trigger a thinking process in their mind about what to do about something that is happening in front of their eyes. So there's something in their mind. We want to trigger that thinking process and to a viable solution. So it is all about conceiving good ideas, and the methodology with a distinct outcome, that if I want to address this problem because I'm very passionate about this problem, how? The methodology part. Ultimately, what will be the outcome? The result. So this kind of approach we want to actually teach them. So once we have some very, very good ideas, brilliant ideas from them, then only, I think we will think about how to take it forward. And then definitely, I will also be, even as an individual, I will also be interested in helping them out. And as an institution also, we will, try to do whatever we can. And definitely IWP, GWP, and some other institutions will be there to support us. So at this stage, we are very much looking forward to have good working ideas, good solutions, conceptual solutions from the participants, which can then be improved with support from experts, with support from other resource people. And we will see if it can be converted into a good idea, into a good action plan. And definitely I can assure you that if it is a very good idea, there will be many takers. Don't worry about that. And then we will definitely do something to get you support. Thank you. Okay, I don't know whether we have any more interactions left or not.
It's already over time, so
yeah,
maybe
so we should wind up. Okay, I think there is already a heavy dose of information being given to everybody. So it will take some time for us to come into terms with this lot of information that we are exposed to today. So I think we should wrap it up here. And individually, personally, it was a very, very informative and very, very enlightening kind of session for me. I'm sure for the entire team. And this is also the first occasion in where we were interacting directly, closely with IWP and GWP. Already their support was always there in the backdrop. So I think more and more such interactions can be facilitated in our coming days. And we will see if we can rope in some participation from both the institution as well as the group of interns. We didn't have much time to interact with them today, but we will see if we can rope them in some of our future webinars. So from my side, thank you very much for enriching this session with so much of information and wisdom. So now over to Pranav. Manisha, it's up to you how you wrap up.
Good evening, everyone. So on behalf of the organizing team, I am taking the privilege to deliver a vote of thanks. So first of all, we'd like to extend our gratitude to the esteemed speakers of the session, Dr. Binna Khanduri Madam and Deluka Piasanam Madam, for your presence in the session and insightful deliberation on the subject, which is really intriguing. And many thanks to all the participants, youth participants, including 16 interns across the South Asian countries, for their interest on the water related issues and their participation here. So, and we are thankful to Dr. Pathajyoti Das sir for conceiving this idea, wonderful idea, and designing the implementation part also. And we must acknowledge the tremendous support from Miss Manisha and her team for running the program, as well as the person from IWP for their support. So thank you, everyone. We will have another other sessions also. We'll meet here. Thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you and good night. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.